Hey, what's up, family? Peace and love. This is Chief Kalanago with another video. Right now, as you know, man, I'm doing it up in Chicago. Indigenous all the way, family. Right now, as you can see, this scenery is so beautiful. All right, Navy Pier. All right, that's where I'm at. Crystal Gardens. And family, I just gotta say, man, I gotta keep it real. All right, like I said, I'm from New York, and what I see on television in mainstream media about Chicago is very, very misleading. Okay. Chicago is beautiful, and I really think these people are trying to demonize our indigenous land and culture so that the indigenous people could leave their neighborhoods, all right, so that they could gentrify. I think that's what's going on. So family, we got to wake up and see what it is. We got to love our home, we got to love our land, and we got to love our culture, all right? So I'm in Chicago doing it up. The ancestor son is back, and I'm here doing the work of the ancestors. So family, peace and love. I'm out. What's up, family? This is Chief Kalanago with another video. I'm out here in Chicago, like I said, beautiful city, indigenous city. And I ran across this brother, and we were actually doing an interview with two other sisters, and he just wanted to know what we were doing. So he said that he wouldn't mind getting on camera, and we're just gonna have a conversation, basic conversation. So as we were talking about, you know, before, about the indigenous people of the land. So let me just ask you, based on your own knowledge, right? Who do you think the indigenous people of the Americas are or what?
The Native Americans, what we would call Indians, but obviously they're not Indians.
Right.
Because Christopher Columbus thought he had discovered India, but he really hadn't discovered anything. But so he named the native people Indians.
Okay, all right, so it's interesting that you said we, because when you said we, what does that mean?
Probably Europeans.
Europeans?
Yes, sir.
So you think the Europeans are the native people?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I apologize. No,
it's okay.
No, Native Americans, I believe, are the native people.
Okay, but so from your own understanding, who do you think the native people are?
The people that were here initially, before, you know, Europeans showed up.
Well, that is true, but what I'm saying in terms of description, like right now, who would you say the native people are?
As far as like Indians, or?
Yeah, well, the Native Americans, the people they call the native, they said that were here before Columbus came. Physical description.
Okay, so the red man.
But who do you think the red man is, though?
I mean, I don't know. You kind of keep going around.
You don't know, right?
Well, I mean, I do, but I don't think we're. I'm getting the description that you like. So, as far as I'm concerned, where we live in upstate New York, where initially I live in Alabama now, we have Indians on reservations. They would be considered, you know, red men, I guess. By you know, I don't think that's probably an inappropriate term. Native Americans, but that's to my knowledge.
Okay, but do they? So, I think the most appropriate question is: do they look like the Hollywood Indians?
No.
Are they dark skinned?
No.
Okay, what if I were to tell you that the Native Americans, the so-called natives, they're not the original people?
That would be news to me.
That would be news to you,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Because it's a fact. The original people actually, the couple-colored races, and that's the true definition of American. Like if you were to look in the Noah's Webster's 1828 dictionary, and you look at the definition of American, it tells you the couple-colored races that were found here in America by the Europeans, and now it is being applied to the descendants of the Europeans.
Well, I mean, it makes sense if you look at, you know, island people that they consider indigenous or Aborigine in Australia.
There you go.
You know, they're black. You know, the true Bahamians, the Caribs, the Carib Indians, they were black.
Okay,
so.
And I'm glad you said that. Very interesting, because they call me a Carib. All right, but let me ask you another question, right? So you said they are black, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. Where's my phone? I don't have my phone. Can I see your sunglasses real quick? What color is your phone? All right, good. What color is this?
Black.
All right, beautiful. What color am I?
You're a nice mocha, brown.
But I'm not black, am I?
No, sir.
So why do you think they call us black?
I think it's an easy way to identify people simply without delving too far into, you know, he's white, he's black, he's brown.
So what do you call yourself?
I would call myself white.
Based on color, white? Okay, what color is my shirt?
I'm definitely not as white as that shirt. I've been out in the sun all day. So.
Yes, so that's because you're not white.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But again, it just goes to show you.
Caucasian.
Yeah,
you know, from the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, there you go. But you see, again, the descriptive term of calling people and the detriment of calling people colors, especially, you know what I mean,
detriment
indigenous people. That's what happens when
No,
you
I
call.
agree.
You feel me?
I agree.
So,
and I
but-
try to identify people as much as possible.
Thank you.
You know, I have a young daughter, I have a young son. You know, I think where certain racial issues start to creep in is when you're young and identify, oh, you see that black man over there with the feather on his head.
Yeah.
You know, I say, oh, you see that man with the headband, that's pretty cool looking, right?
Right.
And
Opposed to a color.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And when you're identifying somebody by a color, you do them a disservice. So I
absolutely
agree
right.
with you.
I appreciate that. You know, so just want to, again, we're just going around Chicago dropping the knowledge because our identity, it was stolen.
Yeah.
And like I said before, if I were to come into your house and you are the original owner, and then you welcome me with open arms and say, hey brother, I have never seen somebody who looked like you. Because before Christopher Columbus, before 1492, my ancestors had never seen what they called a so-called white man or a Caucasian. We had never seen them, period. So when they came, we embraced them with open arms. We said, hey brother, the pale brother, that's what we call him. Welcome. So if I were to come into your house and after, let's just say 200 years, I took over your home, changed your identity, and called your home mine, how would you feel about that?
I mean, after a while, when getting further into your scenario, after a while you wouldn't know the difference. But initially, I would totally feel betrayed.
Exactly, and that's how we feel. That's how I feel. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I tell people I'm not looking for pity. I'm just looking for my truth to be told. Okay, we are not saying, well, you know what? Leave our land. We're not saying that. All we're saying is, okay, you're here, we can live in peace, but respect who we are. Let us do us, because before you came, we have always done us. And that's our message and that's our story. You know, we're not trying to keep people out of our home. No, I mean, we have a beautiful country. We have a beautiful land. And the United States of America is just a country in the Americas.
Yeah.
The Americas are huge. And if you go to South and Central America, you would see everybody look like me.
Yeah, I just came back from Colombia a couple months ago, so yeah.
There you go. You know, so it's about, you know, again, promoting peace, brother, and letting people, you know, promoting the education.
For sure.
Let the people know for a fact who the indigenous people are. Don't take our identity and give it to the so-called natives who came from the Bering Straits. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
so you
yeah.
know about that.
Oh, yeah.
You see, and that's what
The
it is.
land bridge.
The land bridge, there you go. That's who they are. Yeah. But when they came, they met people who look just like me here already. So they have literally taken our identity, and people think that they are the original Indians. But not Indian like we're from India, but you know what I'm talking about. They just call it because it was the West Indies.
Yeah.
So that's what they call us, Indians. But you know, we embrace it, and we're just trying to teach our story and let people know who we are. So I appreciate your time. If you have any questions,
thank you.
Any questions, you know, before I leave?
No, I think it's great what you're doing.
Thank you.
You know, I'm glad that you found some knowledge for yourself that you can share and be a positive influence.
Awesome.
And you know, I really pray that, you know, some of the things that we've seen in this nation start to disintegrate in the light of truth.
Right.
In whatever form or fashion that takes.
Absolutely. And only the truth can set us free, man. Only the truth. All right. Enjoy your day. And Princess, thank you so much. All right. I appreciate you. All right. All right. Take care. All right. Peace and love. All right. Well, family, as you know, as you can see, man, we are here in the streets doing it up. Chief Kalinago, Chicago. We're in the garden, and let's make it happen, man. Not the Garden of Eden, but it kind of looked like it, though. All right. Thank you. Peace and out. Hey, what's up, family? This is Chief Kalinago with another video, man. I'm downtown Chicago at the mall. I'm actually on the Bayfront Seaside, and right now I'm in the mall, and I'm talking to Coco. So, Coco, how you doing today? You doing good? Well, first off, before I even continue, I just want to say that you're absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. You know, we're here to walk and talk, so kind of ignore that for a second, right? But Coco, what we're doing right now, we're going around Chicago, and we're trying to spread some knowledge and get into people's minds as to who all people think they really are. Alright? So first off, I mean, what would you classify yourself as in terms of race or nationality? You're African American, right? Okay. So we're just gonna leave that here for a second. If you were to call yourself like a complexion or, you know, a color, what would you call yourself?
Black.
You would call yourself black, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Because the reason why we're doing this again, you see, to me, it's an issue when our people call themselves African American, because African American is two continents. You have Africa and you have America. And you cannot be two continents. So let me ask you, Coco, how did you come up with the notion that you are actually African American?
just something that I've heard for years. So that's just how I identify myself.
Okay, so have you heard that in the home or school or both?
Well,
Now, when you think about it, now let's just break down African and American. Do you know where Africa is?
yes,
And
should.
okay, and what is Africa?
Africa is actually the continent.
It's a continent, right?
Yes.
And what is America?
America is supposed to be the land of the free.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
All right, but do you know that America is also a continent?
North America is.
No, actually, the continent includes South Central America as well. Did you know that? Okay, but do you know there's a difference between the United States of America and the Americas?
No.
Okay, well the difference is the United States of America is a country in America, and the United States is comprised of the 50 states, right? But it's also a country in the Americas, just like Canada, right? Jamaica, did you know Jamaica is also in the Americas?
No, I did not.
Well, there you go. So America is a continent, right? So let me ask you, if America is a continent, Africa is a continent, then how could you be two continents? Never thought about that, right? So if I were to ask you again now, right? What would you identify yourself as? What would you say now?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. All right, so let's talk about you being black, right? Who told you you were black?
Everyone.
Everyone? Okay, so we're going to do a test real quick, which we call the copper test. But first, we're going to look at the color black. What color is this? That's black, right? Let's put that next to your beautiful cocoa skin. Right, are you black?
No.
Okay, right? So I'm going to ask you again. If I were to ask you what complexion are you, what would you say?
Cocoa.
You're cocoa, right?
Yes.
That's even better than black. But we're going to do a test, right? Because you know that we are indigenous to the country, to this land. You know what indigenous means? Right? Well, literally, the indigenous people are literally the original people of the land. So that's who we are. Now, what is your idea of where we came from in terms of the so-called black people in the Americas or the United States? Where have you heard that we are from?
Everywhere.
Or originated from?
I've heard we originate from everywhere. Egypt, Africa, Turkey,
Okay.
everywhere.
Everywhere except
Here.
here, right? Don't you find that a little strange?
We were rocky.
That's what they told you, right?
Yes.
What if I would have told you that? What if I would have tell you that we weren't brought here? We have always been here. What would you say about that?
I could believe it.
You could believe that? Now I like that. You see, don't make it easy on me now. Why would you believe that?
Because black people were known to be a superior race in the first place. And like, because we were superior, we became oppressed by those who were not superior with us.
Okay.
That's why I could believe it.
Okay, that makes sense. I could understand. I could really understand your logic, but just so you know, right? Again, we were here, and the definition of American, if you look at the Noah's 1828 Webster's Dictionary, right? It has the definition of American, and it says the copper-colored races that were found here, the aboriginals. Do you know what aboriginal means? It means the original, of or from the original. Right? So we are the original people that they found here in the Americas, and they call us the copper-colored races. Now we're going to do a test. We have a few pennies here, right? That's copper, ain't it? Right? Now, let me put that against your skin if you don't mind. Right here. Let's do the test. Right, flat. What that look like?
Looks like copper.
Copper, don't it? Right?
Yes.
Let me show you another one. What that look like?
Copper.
Alright, now let me ask you a question. Which one you more look like? The black or the copper?
Copper.
Exactly. Copper, right?
Yeah.
There we go. So we are the copper-colored races that we come from the Americas. So just to let you know, we have always been here. So if anybody ever to ask you, I'm going to ask you again now, who are you? Because African-American is not a nationality, and black is not a nationality. So with that knowledge of knowing that you're indigenous to this land, what would you say you are now? Huh? Well, copper is a description in terms of nationality. What would you say? It's okay. I'm here to build you up today.
What should I say?
Well, not what you should. Not what you should be saying. What do you think you should say? Let's try that first. If you have always been here in this land, then what are you? Indigenous what? What is the name? What is the name of this land? Exactly. So what are you now? Indigenous American, right? There you go. That's who we are.
Okay.
And we have always been here. This is our land. We never left. We didn't come here on no spaceships. You know the pyramids? We built those. Our pyramids are actually older than those in Africa. And they in South and Central America. So America is a big continent and this is our land.
Okay.
Alright? Just so you know.
I get it.
Alright? So before I leave, I'll give you some information off camera so you can do some research. But be very, very proud to be who you are. Because again, and even on this land, you, the woman, what is called the matriarch. We have always had a matriarchal society. What that means, we pay very, very high homage to our women. You put them on a pedestal. You are the creator. You are the most high. And you created God. So thank you for creating me. Alright? So I appreciate your time. Family, Coco, say what's up to you too.
What's up?
Alright? I appreciate you, sis. Alright? Alright, good luck. Alright.
Hey, peace, love, and light, family. What's up? This is Chief Kalanago. Right now, I'm downtown Chicago, McCormick Place, and we're about to hit the streets, family. We're about to test the knowledge of the people. See if they know that they're actually indigenous to this land. Because, you know, in my opinion, at least 98% of the American Aborigines don't know that they are actually indigenous to the land. The so-called black people, African American, they think they came from a slave ship from Africa. But we out here about to go test the knowledge, and if they don't know, we're about to drop it on them, let them know that this is our birthright. In other words, this is our land, okay? It was given to us by our ancestors, so therefore we gotta let the people know what's good. So come with us, let's see what we find, let's see who we run into. The copper, colored races, that's who we are, American Aborigines, let's go. Hey, what's up, family? This is Chief Kalanago with another video. As you know, I'm here in Chicago and we are at the Bayfront. You see the scenery right here? It's gorgeous. But you know what we're doing? This is about indigenous people. So we're actually going about Chicago trying to get into the minds of our people. When I say our people, you know what I'm talking about. But I just ran into a brother and his wife here, and we're just gonna, you know, talk to them. Nothing is planned. All right, we're just gonna go with the flow and try to, you know, pick their mind a little bit, see if they know who they truly are. So my brother, what's your name?
Michael.
Michael.
Nice
all right,
to meet
and pleased to meet you. What's your name, sis?
Brianna.
Brianna. Beautiful, beautiful. So if I were to ask you guys, right? I know you're seeing us, you know, interviewing somebody, so you kind of know what this is about, but without any type of influence, right? If I were to ask any one of y'all, and you could take your time to answer, you know, either way, right? Who do you think you are? Or what have you always known yourself as?
First,
yeah.
Yeah, you go first.
What have you always called yourself?
I've always called myself black.
Black, right? And how about you too, sis?
I kind of both, because I'm black and white, so I always went by like both.
Oh, it's pretty much
it's
both,
kind of
right?
both,
In
yeah.
between, right?
Yeah.
So you say some days you say you black, some days you say you white.
I
or
would
you
like
just,
to identify as black, like
as black.
because I was raised around my most of my black family. But if someone asked me like in detail, like
yeah,
I would say like, okay, I'm white and black.
All right, beautiful. All right, so let's look at the word black here for a second, right? What is black?
Black is not nothing to define me. That's for sure.
That's
just something that we just kind of grew up in. That's the culture we grew up in. So all the way from when we young, when we do these standardized tests, they ask you to identify yourself. I'm talking 6, 7, 8 years old. That's what's in our heads.
Yeah,
it's like
it's black.
you circle in your race,
right?
Black or African American.
Okay, beautiful.
And I always, even when I was a young guy, I always thought like, man, I ain't black. I'm actually a little more brown than black.
right. You know? Okay, that makes sense.
So that's something that always something that I always kind of questioned. But as I got older, and then I kind of looked at the whole complete me, right? And I understand that our people were brought over here, right? But then there was some folks over here already that was brown too. Okay, so
that's good. So I want you to, before we do a couple of things, right? What color is this phone?
That's black.
That's black.
That ain't me.
That ain't you, right, sis? Is that you?
No.
So we have already established that you're not black, right? All right, beautiful. I want you to take a definition. This is the Noah's 1820 dictionary. Definition of American. Would you mind any one of you guys reading that? The definition what an American is.
So American is as an adjective is pertaining to America.
Okay.
But as a noun, it's a native of America originally applied to the aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now let's do a test. We're gonna do the copper test, right? So we have some pennies here, right? We know pennies, they copper, right? Put your hands up. Right? Sis, put your hand up. All right, let's do this test. Which one is closer to you?
That's me right there.
Exactly. Which one is closer to you?
This one.
Exactly. So is it safe to say that we are the copper people?
Facts.
Yeah.
There you go. Now what it said, right? American, the people who were already what?
Here.
Before the Europeans, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, we were already here. So my question to you, like you said, since you were 7, 8, why are they teaching us that we are black? Why do you think so?
It's definitely it's definitely a way to control one's mind.
That's true. That's true.
From the very beginning.
From the very beginning. And let's look at the word. Let's look at African American here, right? What is African?
So African, like from another country.
Yeah, Africa. Yeah. What is Africa?
From another country. It's not here.
No, but Africa is a what?
It's a continent.
A continent, right? America is a what?
America is a America's a continent.
Beautiful. So how could you be 2 continents?
Oh yeah, you saying okay.
You see what they did to our people? Africa is a continent with many countries. You have never heard a Nigerian or Ghanaian said, "I am African."
No.
They say, "I am Nigerian," because you know what? You cannot be. It's impossible. They have a nationality, and that's what we're trying to bring to our people: true identity. You see, but the key now. Let's go into why they had to do that. Because of the original people, it's about this. What is this?
It's just land.
Land, brother. And my sister, that's what it's about. If I could take you out of your land by changing your identity, then guess what? The land is open for grabs. Have you ever heard about the doctrine of discovery?
I haven't.
Well, basically what it is once they misclassified our people, they're basically saying what we discovered is ours. But how could you discover something if people were already here? You see what I'm saying? So in essence, this is us. This is our land. But I know you had a couple of questions in terms of the Indigenous Aborigines, something about how does it apply and the laws and stuff like that, because we spoke about laws of the land that only apply to the Indigenous people. And you had a question in terms of who or how many, something like that. What was that?
Well, how much, right? Because I mean, there's no way. I actually tried to get on Ancestry.com a little while ago, maybe about 5 years ago, and it only took me back to 1920.
Okay.
Right? I know I ain't just get here in 1920.
There you go. Right.
So that was always something that I kind of questioned, like, okay, where do I really come from? You know, and if there is a percentage of Indigenous Aboriginal blood in me, how much is that? And how much does that have to apply for me to be considered in what you're talking about as far as the rights that I'm supposed to have?
Okay. All right. So first, let us look at percentages. All right. We don't deal with percentages because I'm not sure if any of your parents, grandmother, great-grandmother ever told you, you know, you're Indian or they had Indian, or have you ever heard that? They have, right? Yeah. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. I'm asking you first, sis. If great-grandmother was an Indian, what does that make you?
So does it make me part of the native culture?
You are who your parents are. You can't be part of your parent, can you?
No.
You are who your parents are. So if your great-grandmother is Indian, what does that make you?
Does that make me Indian?
Exactly. Same thing, brother. That's who we are. You see, the percentages thing is what they play with those, you know, popular, like, what they call it, genes and,
Yeah.
Well,
that's
they saying you have like the most of.
Nah, we don't, like I said, it's who you are.
So you are.
You know what I mean?
I'm only 8%.
That doesn't exist.
I do have something to interject from behind the scenes.
Yes.
Here's the thing: the original will always have everything that the lessers do not, because everything comes from the original.
Gotcha.
You dig what I'm saying? So you will have a percent of everybody on planet Earth in you, because you are the what? Original. Two Caucasians cannot make us. Period. The stronger genes will always be the original. That's who you are. You are what your ancestors were. If your ancestors were Aboriginal American from a billion trillion years ago, the beginning of time, that what makes you, because you can't be nothing different than your mother. And she can't be nothing different from her mother. And so on back to the first woman, because we all have a what? A belly button.
So we all
and
came from a woman.
Man, they don't come from nobody else.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So again, it just goes to show you, you know, again, the miseducation of the people. So to answer your question, brother, the indigenous rights and laws that we have, did you know that our ancestors actually were the ones who formed the Constitution?
No.
Yes. Our ancestors formed the Constitution to protect their children. But the reason why it's not protecting our children is because they are going around calling themselves what? Exactly.
And or African American.
And African American.
Where can they find that law? Where can they find that document that states we created that?
That document is, well, the Iroquois, you know, was a confederation that, you know, was created of, you know, many nations. All right, but the resolution is, can you help me here, Chief?
House Congress Resolution 331, a concurrent resolution. 100 Congress, second session. It's entitled so because it gives recognition to our people who consolidated themselves and labeled themselves as the Iroquois Confederacy back then,
so
which was many nations, many peoples, families, etc. from across the Americas during the Pan American conferences and before. We've always stayed in touch with the islands, with everybody, because we're from all over the place in America. Definitely, that's why we call ourselves we the people.
We the people, yeah.
Not we the blacks, not we the Africans, but we the people. And people, as defined by international law, belongs only to us because we are closely connected to the land, because we are the first peoples who inhabited the earth.
Yeah.
Now that's deep. And you can find that in the United Nations Declarations on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. And as well as the American
Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People that was adopted last year, I think June 14th or 15th. All right. So family, you know, just do some research, man. And like I said, you guys on the right path, because at the age of 8, you knew there was something wrong in being black. So alone, that was a clue. But the rights that you speak of, it applies to you as well. As long as you're not in that jurisdiction of calling yourself black or African American, only when you do that, you expose yourself to the corporation so they could abuse you. And that's why our people are going through what they're going through. Not because they're black, because they're not black, but because they have identified themselves as just a color and not a people. There's a difference. So I hope that made sense, and I want to thank you guys. I'm going to give you guys my information so that you could check out the information on YouTube, you know. But like I said, family, spread the knowledge. All right, and we'll send you, like, I'll give you my information, you'll text me. I'll also send you some books you can read to prove and show you that we were already here. And those books came from the Congress, the Library of Congress, all in their archives. That's where they hide them books. They hide them jewels right up in there. You can't get it in a regular library. You have to go into their library, and they'll tell you exactly who we are. So I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.
Oh, anytime, brother. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. All right.
You got anything you want to plug? Anything at all?
Anything you want to plug? I mean, do you promote anything? I mean, a business or?
No, not right now, man. I'm a pretty simple guy. Maybe you got anything?
No, nothing right now.
Okay.
No, you know, I just appreciate y'all stopping us.
Yeah.
Oh, anytime.
This is real beneficial.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
You know, open my brain up to a lot more. So I'm always looking for that.
Yes, indeed. Again, just know that always think of the original. And what the original means is that everything else that came after is not the original. You feel me? So therefore, what's here is yours. And who came after, they got to answer to you, not you answer to them. Because if I came into your house and you, the original owner of your house, can I tell you what to do in your house, or should I? What if I came and took over your house? How would you feel?
Man, I can't even imagine.
And that's what they did to us. And that's what they did to us. So now we are stepping up, letting more people know who we are, so we could get back into the rightful place of being landlords opposed to tenants. Do you see birds paying rent? Do you see dogs paying for food? Or, you know, I mean, of course the domestic ones, but you see lions buying food? Why are we buying food and why are we paying rent? It's because our people have been indoctrinated. All right? They became slaves of their own land. So we're trying to eradicate that. And